Hey there guys, welcome to the next tutorial here on the channel. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to make a nifty phone wallet. It's basically going to be a combination of a wallet with a spot for your phone, as you can see here. So there are a few things we need to cover before we start on the tutorial here, so let's get started on just a little bit of info before the tutorial. Alright, so this is basically what it's going to look like here. We have the wallet section over here with the credit card holders and the band, which I use on a lot of my flip wallets. I'll teach you guys how to make that once again. So that's going to be that part of the wallet, and then this is the phone part over here. Now depending on what kind of phone you have, if you have like the brick style phone like I do, then you're pretty much not going to have to modify this at all. You're just going to have to worry about the dimensions of it. If you have a different kind of phone, you might have to, just work with this design and kind of just mold it to the way that your phone is. Because you might have to make this spot a little bit smaller if your phone doesn't go quite up to the top here. So let's get started here on making the phone wallet. Another thing I want to mention is that if you do have a case around your phone, like this has a rubber case that I have it slipped in here, you can either choose to make your phone wallet here with the case on or off. If you do choose to have it off, it's going to be a lot smaller. So this phone is about roughly 5 inches long, so I'm going to go to probably 5.5 inches and cut out several strips for that, and I'm not going to use the case for this. So it's up to you, but I'm going to start cutting out those strips right now. So here are my 4 strips. I'm going to stick these together to form a small sheet of tape, and that will serve as the backbone for my phone wallet here. So I'm going to take my phone, kind of measure how far it should be on the top and bottom. We probably want to overlap by about 1/4 of an inch or so. So I'm going to stick it down to right about here. It's probably close to 3.5 inches. And of course, if you're using a different kind of phone, you're going to have to measure that a little bit. So here's our 4th strip. And then what I'm going to do is actually make an exact duplicate of this sheet here. So take another 4 strips and make another exact duplicate of this piece. So here's my second sheet. Now what I'm going to do is lay the phone on top, and I'm just kind of going to mark where I think the screen where the screen square is what I call it is. So it's right about there, and I'm going to lift it up on all 4 sides here, and then just carefully mark the tape underneath it with kind of just a poke. And from there, what I'm going to do is I'm either going to take a pair of scissors or just start off with the hobby knife here and just cut the square out of this piece here, and that'll be the square that I cut out for the screen. So do that step right now. You may have to do a little bit of measuring just to make sure that you get it right, but always cut it small, and then you can always cut it larger if you cut it too small for the screen. So work on that step now. So there's our cutout piece. Now what we're going to do is lay it right on top, and you're going to make sure the screen obviously fits in that square area, as well as any buttons if you have those on the bottom of your phone. And then what we're going to do is simply connect these with a strip of tape on all 4 sides, well actually all 3 sides instead of the top here. We'll worry about that later. And you want to just peel these up and connect them here. And this is where you're going to find out if the sheet on the bottom was long enough that you can actually do this. So you want to connect those on all 3 sides, and it's okay if it kind of lifts up like this, because we're actually going to be trimming the edges, and that will allow it to lay a little bit better, and we're going to retape that. So just connect it on the top, or not the top, the 2 sides and the bottom here, and then we'll move on to our next step. So there's the part of the phone case connected on the sides and on the bottom. Now bear in mind, if your phone is a little bit loose in there and you can kind of like pinch it both sides with a little bit in between, you can always trim a little bit of that off. I would recommend you take your phone out when you do this, trim a little bit of that off, and then connect those 2 again, and that'll make the case a little bit tighter, and your phone screen will stay within this square that you cut out. You can either seal this up on the top or kind of just trim it down a little bit just to make sure that you can touch the button, and then you can work with that. This actually does have a screen protector on it. Just bear in mind, whenever you're working with electronics and adhesive, it does tend to get everywhere, so you do want to probably make sure your phone has a screen protector or something along those lines on it. If you are using a case or something like that, it'll definitely protect it from the adhesive. So now let's work on the actual wallet part of the phone wallet, and that will be on the left side here, and it'll fold together just like this. So to make the wallet part of the phone wallet, you guessed it, we're going to be making another one of those sheets here. This is exactly the same dimensions as those 2 that you made over here for your phone part. And first thing we're going to do is work on the credit card holders, and then we're going to work on this band here for the money. And real quick, to work on vertical credit card holders, I've done this in a few of my videos, but I'll do it once again real quick. Cut out 2 strips of tape that are a little bit less than the credit card here. And of course we're going this way, back and forth, because we have to make it a vertical. So I'm going to take those 2 strips and stick them together just like this. Take 1 more of those strips and actually cut it in half. So here's 1 piece, and we're just going to measure the height of the credit card here. Make it a little bit higher than it, a little bit wider. There's our first piece. Here's the other half of that third piece. And this just serves as an extender for this piece here. So there's a credit card holder. Now what we're going to do is take two more pieces, and these are just gonna, you know, attach to the sides of the credit card holder. One on that side, and of course one on the other. And I'm probably gonna get a little confusing with this Hawaiian print here, but just bear in mind it's pretty simple. Wrap that around the back, and then obviously one small piece for the bottom of the card holder, and there you have your credit card holder. So we're just going to stick this right in there. And of course you can put 2 or 3 of them here, but you definitely want to work on the band part second. That's very important. Now on to making the money part of Now on to making the band part for the money band on the bottom here. If you see my tutorial on the flip wallet, this is going to be exactly the same way. Basically, to make the pocket first, we're going to take 3 strips of tape that are, you know, the length of the bottom here. And the first 2 just get stuck together just like this. Nothing special about that at all. The third strip serves as the connector for the bottom. It's pretty simple. You want to situate this a little bit higher up off the bottom here. I'm probably up 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 inch or so. I'm going to pick this up, wrap that around the back, stick it down. Then we're going to take 2 small strips, and that's just going to stick the sides of the pocket onto this piece here. This just makes the pocket part of the money band, and then we're going to work on the actual band, which goes right in front of it here. And then I'll show you exactly how it works at the end. So there we got the pocket. Now let's work on the band. Now to make the band, very simple. We're going to take 1 strip of tape, that's the length of the bottom here once again, and I'm using the blue surf because it's going to be a contrast on the white here. We're going to fold this piece in half, which can be a little tricky, so just do it slowly. Make sure that's perfectly even on both sides. Then what we're going to do is take 1 small strip of tape, cut that in half, and that's just going to serve as our 2 connectors for the sides here. You want to make sure it's lined up perfectly on there. A little bit below the pocket here, that's very important. Wrap these 2 around the back, or at least that one around the back, and then this one gets wrapped around the back as well. And there you have your money band. This is how it works. Money goes in like that. You can take a whole bunch of money when you do this. It can do quite a few bills, and then it folds right there, and then you have your money band. Now all we need to do is just connect it to the part of the phone wallet here. Then 1 strip of tape on the back will connect the 2 together, and you want them to be a little bit separated so that when you do stick a whole bunch of things in each side, they won't be, you know, too bunched up together here. If you do have a little bit of wraparound for the bottom here, you can just cover that up with tape. That's what it looks like on that side. It's definitely a cool, you know, thing to make. You can obviously modify it to whatever you want. You can put a whole bunch of credit card holders in here. You can totally redo the way that the money's held if you want to do it differently. You can also, you'll probably have to modify it if you are using a different phone, but that's how to make a duct tape phone wallet. Hopefully you guys liked the video, and you know, just go crazy with this and come up with a whole bunch of cool ways that you can carry all your cards, money, and your phone all in one package. Hope you guys liked the video. I'll catch you next time.